For episode 3 of the Design Academy series, we are going to be looking at artboards, what they are, why we use them, how we use them. Artboards are essentially our canvas within Adobe Illustrator. So similar to how a painter would have their canvas and their studio, their palettes and their brushes, we have our artboard, our workspace around that artboard, and then our palettes and tools and brushes over here. So first, let's go ahead and look at our Artboard tool. You'll find that over here on the left side. It looks like a little paper with some lines coming off of it here. And if we go ahead and click on that, you'll see that our artboard here is selected. You can tell that because of these blue dotted lines. We can see that it's Artboard 1, that it's got a dimension of 10 inches by 10 inches. And there's a couple things we can do if we have this tool out. For one, we can go ahead and move the artboard around. We can also, if we hold Alt while we click and drag, and then release that click and drag before we release the Alt key, we can go ahead and make a duplicate of that artboard to have a second artboard on our project. Also, while this artboard is selected, we can modify it. So let's say we want to make this an 8 by 10 artboard instead. We can type in 8 there, hit enter. Now we have an 8 by 10. Or maybe we want it to be a preset size, let's say letter sized. Now we have an 8.5 by 11 artboard here. With the Artboard tool, we can also create new artboards. If we click and drag, that'll make a new artboard. Then we can come up here again to make it a specific size. It's important to know that you can work within this entire workspace. You can create graphics, out here. I can be working with them out here, but only the graphics that I actually bring within my canvas will be what I'm exporting when I'm saving my final files. Quick example of that, here is a logo design project I was working on where I was getting some clients some potential options in the first round. Over here you can see where I'm playing with some of the shapes and forms and ideas that I have, but then over here in the artboard is where I have the actual buttoned up clean version that I'm going to go ahead and send to my client. Now real quick, let's look at an example of why you would want to use multiple artboards within a project. Let's say you're working with a graphic that you're going to be putting on multiple different deliverables. Maybe you had to create this logo and now they want it on a shirt and on business cards. Instead of having all these separate projects for these different deliverables, you can just go ahead and create different artboards so that it's much easier to just grab your graphic here and bring it over and put it on this mock-up, let's say, or on your business cards. And then let's say the client just wants their business card files. You can go to the Artboard tool, see that that is Artboard 3 and 4. We're looking at that first number here for that. Go up here to File, Save As, and then you can go ahead and select a PDF, use Artboards, Range, and just save Artboards 3 and 4. And that way when you save that file, it'll only be saving the things that are within these two artboards to send to your client. Now let's say you're starting a project and right away you know that you're going to need multiple artboards. Well, you can go ahead and start with those right away. If you go ahead and when you're creating a new file, come over here to the Artboards selection area, and let's say we need 4 artboards and we want them to be 10 inches by 10 inches. When we go ahead and create that document, right away it's going to give us 4 equally sized artboards that we can go ahead and start working on.